We may have over 48 hours of constant below freezing temperatures, along with extremely cold wind chills, and could possibly be near record amounts of snowfall in South Louisiana.
Well, that was Governor Jeff Landry this afternoon speaking to the seriousness of the winter storm now just hours away. If you haven't made your final preparations, the time to do that is now.
That is what crews like these ones are doing, mixing up brine to keep the streets from icing up. They're also getting ready to close roadways that get too dangerous.
It's expected to be a major travel disruption, and it could continue for several days this week, with crews at the airport in Houston de-icing the runways and most airlines canceling service at Armstrong International tomorrow. Now this week we're calling for a series of weather impact alert days. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Sharice Gibson.
And I'm Katie Moore. A strong winter storm is expected to bring more snow than we have ever seen in our area.
And we're bracing for conditions on the roads to get very dangerous. So officials are telling everyone stay home if at all possible. The snow should start falling in the Houston area tonight. Then it will expand into our area and possibly continue snowing all day Tuesday. Chief Meteorologist Chris Franklin starting our coverage tonight. Chris, what are the latest estimates for just how much snow we could get?
Yes, we're looking at the several inches of snow across the board. In fact, even down toward the coast. We have been showing this graphic over the last several days, and we have been slowly moving that rain, sleet, snow line farther and farther south, where it may still be more of a mix right at the coast, and everyone else, it'll be primarily snow. So we did update the numbers, and these are my latest numbers. I just posted them on social media, and kind of what I'm thinking, we're looking at probably 4 to 7. Now that is a pretty big range, but this is kind of taking into account a lot of the model guidance right now of what we will likely see from the metro area south and on the North Shore. So the majority of the population will see 4 to 7 inches. Now, just to our north, maybe more like 3 to 4, which is already a significant snow. Consider this, normally the snows that you remember in New Orleans are about a trace or a half inch. That is what we have historically seen. I mean, I know growing up, what snows that you see in the metro area are usually only a trace or maybe a tenth of an inch. This is several inches, and we're approaching a half a foot of snow, where that number is more likely kind of from Baton Rouge, maybe the western Florida river parishes out toward the Atchafalaya and Acadiana. Now down right along the coastline could even see 1 to 2, which again, for southeast Louisiana, even an inch of snow is fairly significant. So the clouds have started to roll in already. We started out the day with mostly sunny skies. May start to see a little bit of wintry weather or even a cold rain, maybe as soon as midnight. Now this is the one model that is really bringing that in earlier. Most of the others are indicating more of a 3-4 a.m. time frame, so for some of that wintry weather to start moving in. And certainly during that time frame, we will have some light flurries moving through. I think as a lot of folks are waking up 7, 8, 9 o'clock, it'll primarily be all snow, and that snow continues through the afternoon and into the evening. Now, thankfully, not an all day. As we get later into the evening and nighttime hours, snow, any frozen precipitation is gone, and the skies will be clearing. The issue then will be what snow falls accumulates on the roadways, and it may be slow to clear even as we head into a sunny Wednesday, as high temperatures Wednesday will just barely get above freezing. So we'll kind of talk about the duration of how long the snow may stay on the ground, and also the now decrease in the threat of ice in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Chris. And as you're wrapping up your snowstorm preps tonight, New Orleans officials are ready to respond.
Yeah, even though we're not a cold weather city usually, leaders say they're looking to past winter storms to create a game plan. And as they ready those resources, Alyssa Curtis has the City of New Orleans' main message.
Stay warm, stay safe, stay ready, stay off the roads.
There's one
stay home, stay off the roads
main message.
And if you've never driven on snow or ice, don't even try it.
New Orleans officials hope you listen to. For a city that is definitely not used to these temperatures, let alone snow, it can be dangerous. But New Orleans says they're as prepared as they can be.
We have dump trucks loaded with sand, ready to respond.
I've given the 100% no-nonsense approach to ensuring wherever equipment is that we don't have, that we know where it is, and we're already starting to communicate that in terms of partnerships.
DOTD is salting the roads, but focusing on major roads and highways, and they probably can't get to all the streets.
It's going to be very difficult for us to keep all these roadways clear, if not impossible.
If you do have to get in your car and head somewhere, the best option is for you to drive slow and get ready for some road closures.
We are going to be a bit more proactive about closing the streets before people get out there and are on a skating rink. We are going to close mainly those streets where there's elevation.
So the best option really is just to stay home. And while you're home, Sewage and Water Board says there's a few things you can do to help them out, like running a thin drip of water from your faucet to make sure the pipes don't freeze.
Obviously, if you can insulate your pipes using either foam, rags, or newspapers wrapped in cellophane or aluminum foil, that will also help. And the final thing that I want to mention is know where the shutoff on your home is.
Entergy says you should have power throughout the cold, but if it goes out,
we will switch customers where possible to get them on as quickly as possible after an outage, but repairs, restoration will depend on the road conditions.
they want you to be patient and stay safe. Alyssa Curtis, WWL, Louisiana.
New Orleans has a warming shelter open at the Rosenwald Recreation Center and will open more of them if needed. The city's asking you to report all weather-related non-emergencies to 311. And for non-emergency NOPD reports like fatal accidents or accidents, call 504-821-2222. If it is an emergency, call 911. As a result of the work to restore the pumping capacity at the Claiborne Water Plant, the Sewage and Water Board says pressure dropped too low in some neighborhoods, and that led to a set of boil water advisories. 2 are in New Orleans East, another covers the lower 9th Ward, and the 4th is in Venetian Isles. Water samples have been collected for testing. We'll let you know as soon as any of those boil orders are lifted.